Alrighty, so for those who tried to tune in while we did this live today, we were having some internet connectivity issues. Kept the recording going, and I tried to compile it together as best as possible. So here it is. Shancast from today, July 25th. Enjoy. Hi. Welcome everybody to another episode of Shancast. I don't know what episode we're on. I've lost track because we haven't done this in a while, actually. We've got Donny here with us. We've got Book here with us. And yeah, Book's just got done telling us about a wonderful story about cabaret night at the Christian college. Yeah, cabaret night. I'm sure it was. I mean, a little bit of role play is fine from time to time. You know, oh, Father, forgive me. No.
Community sitting in the audience right now, and this is what we're singing about. We're like, all right, let's go.
It's
pretty entertaining.
I had everybody muted on accident.
Well, very nice. Well done, Bill.
Thanks for the heads up, Deja.
Good job. Good job. I'm proud of you. Slow clap for Cinco.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. Bear with me. I'm still alive and breathing, and I am shocked at that. Oh lordy. Yeah. So, how's everybody been? Books got some books.
I got some books.
You got some books. Show us the books.
I'm excited about my books. So this is one of them. It's called Arclight. Very, very pretty cover.
And it is about.
Could read you the back blurb on it. I think it's like, I don't remember if it's like a post-apocalyptic or futuristic techie one.
I'm assuming with a name like Arclight, there is some kind of quantum or scientific thing to it.
It does have, like, the first line is, no one survives the fade. So I was just like, whoa.
Could be about a barbershop in Brooklyn.
All right,
it's a mystery. No
one
survives the fade. How do you want these lines? Tapered block?
The one I'm
rounded?
Super excited about is my big beastie.
Yes, this one. What is this?
It's called The Lost Words, a spell book. So basic idea and premise is words that children used to use a lot to describe the natural world around them don't get used very often anymore. So they've gotten lost. Like, people don't describe the world in that way or talk about these things in that way. So this book is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's so beautifully done. Like, the illustrations are fantastic.
Is that watercolor or gold foil?
Well, they have, I think this picture in and of itself, like the pages itself aren't actually, but it's like
oh yeah,
I think that one is like a gold. Yeah, it's got like a gold kind of filigree style. But the rest of them are definitely watercolor, and they're beautiful. I'm grabbing the cord here. But like the cool thing about this, like, look at this picture. It's very so pretty.
If I ever see a rabbit just chilling with a bird on its head, I'm immediately throwing salt on the ground and taking steps backwards and going, you're not getting me, shapeshifter.
The really cool thing about this one, though, is each, like, before page has a picture of some sort, and it's hard to tell with this one because the letters are so similar, but they have the entire alphabet. But it has, on this page, it has the A, the C, there's an O, an R, and an N that are a different color. So that's telling you what word is coming next. So then it does acorn. And there's like a little poem or a little like word thing where it has the A, C, O, R, and N are the start of each like verse.
Okay.
Um, so then it has a picture of the actual thing, but then it has like another giant watercolor picture afterwards.
Okay, that's gorgeous.
It's
Pretty.
so pretty. It's so pretty. And so then there's like, so then it does the next one.
Oh dear God.
And
Are
yeah,
those
this one,
centipedes?
no, they're
Thank
leaves.
God.
Um, trying to think
Centipedes
of
freak
what
me
this
out.
one. Oh, adder. Adder is the word for this one. So
Adder.
if you're okay with
Got that,
snakes, or warning, snake, but they do like snake on that page.
Hey, Books. Deja says, make an OnlyFans and read bedtime stories. She'll subscribe immediately.
It would be so much fun, honestly. But it's like, look at this freaking thing.
Oh, wow.
It's so pretty. Like, I love this book. I'm so excited to like finish reading it or whatever. I started it. I like this one too. This one has bluebell. So you can see the distinction between the letters in this one a
Yeah.
little bit better.
Okay.
But like,
And that does that leading up to the.
yeah,
They still
does
have like
bluebell is the
annual
word.
bluebell photo shoots in Texas with these things.
But look at this. The whole thing is watercolor.
Beautiful.
Very
It's
pretty.
so pretty. So I really,
Flip to the very middle.
really,
I want to see the very
um,
middle.
I'm not
Doesn't
sure
have to
what
be
the
exact.
actual-
But just like a chunk middle page.
Gonna get ooh, ooh, I like that. Oh no, your rabbit's back.
Does he have a bird on his head?
He does not, but he's chilling with an owl or a
Chilling.
hawk.
Looks like he's dead.
That's a hawk. He's hanging out.
That hawk
His eyes
fucked
are
him up.
open. He's hanging out.
That hawk fucked him up. I'm telling you,
There's a
that
bee
hawk
there,
came in,
too. What's the
swan dived on him, and just dead.
the word in front of it was heather.
And the
So
hawk's
he's
name
laying
was
in the
Heather.
heather. And oh, heron. Heron is the next one because there's a.
Aaron.
Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, like
Bird.
the bird.
Yeah.
All right. That's a
So,
good
yeah.
looking bird there.
I would love to read this though, like actually on honest, like do a video or something with this and read this out loud because
Well, if
it's
you
so
do,
pretty. So pretty.
put it on an OnlyFans account, and Missy and I will subscribe immediately. Let's see. What's you when someone touches your neck, Missy? I am so lost. Or Patreon or stream it. Yeah, you could stream the book. Well, no, I don't think you could actually. Copyright.
Yeah, they get kind of finicky about that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know how that would work with being like because I plan on doing I want to do like part of my YouTube channel that I'm going to create. I want to do a series where I do read stories out loud. Like I'm planning on reading my illustrated Harry Potters out loud. I would love to read this one out loud. In which case, I'm not sure how that would all work with
YouTube would
copyright.
probably be the safest bet, because what they do in the case of copyright claims is your ad monetization or video monetization, just all the money you get from that goes to the copyright holder.
Yeah, you just don't get paid as opposed to getting banned.
Right, that's the only catch. So I mean, you wouldn't make any money off of it, but then you could go and if you would like more direct or for like bonus content, be sure to subscribe to my OnlyFans. And don't get it twisted. OnlyFans is not a porn site. It is not specifically for flashing the boobies and doing all the weird stuff. Granted, that is on there. They're very open to people who do that. But you can do all kinds of shit. There's personal trainers and fitness folks and artists that are on there. So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the whole I'm not planning on starting any of this to make money, honestly. Like that's not the whole point of me. So it's like I wouldn't honestly care like reading stories out loud to be like, "Oh, you'll get demonetized," or, like something like that. It's like I don't care. The only reason I want to do a YouTube channel is so I can talk about books. Like, that's legit the only reason why I want to do it, is because it's like I read and I want to tell people about it and talk about
Perfect.
what I'm reading.
I
So it's like,
honestly, I don't know if you'll get a strike for that then. Like, if you're not directly reading the book end to end, but you're reading sections and selections from the book and explaining what you enjoy about it or what you like, how the author did this, yada, you might be able to get away with like an educational thing on that or a reaction without getting any kind of copyright strike. And even then, as you said, you know, whatever, you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it because you want to share it with people. So yeah, let's fucking make
yeah.
that happen. Why is this not happening yet? Why is this not a thing? I don't understand.
I'm working on it.
Mm.
I'm trying.
YouTube Kids. That's another good one. Dingo recommended that. He's in the chat right now. He says, hi, coming live from Tarkov.
Yeah, I have it pulled up.
Well, hello
Missy.
from Tarkov.
Like a clip note, but with a beautiful woman instead of you alone. Wait, what?
I don't understand.
Oh, you'd be the beautiful woman. Instead of someone reading the cliff notes on their own, they can get the cliff notes from you.
That'd be fun.
There you go.
I've never actually used Cliff Notes.
I've used it a couple of times when I had like a 1 day left deadline because I was extremely short on time. But even then, I read the cliff notes and I went, I already knew all this shit about the book. That's why I chose the book, in case I didn't read it. This did me no good.
Yeah. I skim if I need to fly through something, but
If I get
or I just
short
don't end
on
up
time.
finishing it. So
Yeah.
there's that too.
Let's see.
I was actually surprised that I finished this guy and was okay with it.
Oh,
Ah.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I have
Okay.
not.
Donnie, have you seen the movie?
I was
Have not.
Okay. Then never mind. Because I was going to ask how the book compares to the movie. Because I've seen the movie, but I haven't read the book.
I was extremely apprehensive reading this book because I don't like Stephen
How?
King. And this was not a scary book. It was more like sad, I guess would be a way to describe it. Like
I feel
parts
like
of
that
it were
was his
definitely
intent.
like ew, like
Mhm.
why, like gross, but I don't know. At the same time, it's just like I'm not. No, does this mean I'm gonna go pick up all the Stephen King books and read them? Fuck no,
No.
absolutely not. You
Not at all.
won't. I won't touch it with a 40-foot pole. Like that's not going to happen. I don't do clowns. I don't do horror. I don't do any of that crap. Like
I
no.
would specifically recommend against it as a book, just in general, because I did read that and that was horrible. That was
Like
that
a
was hard
bad
to read.
book or
Oof.
No, it wasn't scary so much as there are parts in that book that are just deeply disturbing.
oh,
Like really deeply, probably can't talk about it on the internet, disturbing. And yeah.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah. No.
I feel like there are parts of the
I-
internet that have talked about these disturbing things.
It's
Anybody
usually the
remember
kind that gets you
Ebon's
put on
World?
an FBI list if you catch somebody reading.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, very, very, very disturbing.
Why is Stephen King not locked up?
I have no idea. It's the only one I've
I
read of his, so
honestly-
I'm not sure.
Like I've seen jokes or whatever about people who they're like, don't look at my browser history, you'll think I'm either a serial killer or I'm a writer. Like it's one of those two. I feel like I thought this way of crime shows and stuff like that too, like ones that aren't based
Oh, is she
on
cutting
real
out for
stuff,
you,
or
Donnie?
the ones that are, but it's just like, how on earth do the writers come up? Am I cutting out?
You're stuttering a little bit.
No
Am
worries.
I apologize. I don't know
Oh,
why.
that's not your
but-
fault. It's internet. We can blame it on the infrastructure of the United States that has the
We
worst
blame the
internet
web.
infrastructure in the world. How sad is that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be afraid to look at a horror, thriller, true crime novelist, whatever's browser history, even if it's just a quick glance, I know
Mhm.
I would judge them. Why were you looking up bondage but not on Pornhub? I have questions. Sir, tell me why you have graphic depictions of animal butchering on your computer, but your browser history shows autopsy methods. What?
Yeah.
Some of my absolute favorites are people who post their research for other writers. So like I've seen some clips before about like, okay, here's a bunch of different bullet types. Here's the size of entry wounds they would have. Here's the size of exit wounds they would have. Here's where you could theoretically shoot someone and not cause them to bleed out. So if like your character was trying to be torturous or whatever like that. Other ones about different types of knife slashes, like how far you could shove a sword into somebody. Like all of these interesting, like just like writers are a very strange breed. Very strange breed.
Yeah, I imagine my browser history when I was knee deep in the writing process was a very strange place to be.
I
Yeah.
apparently am having some connectivity issues.
Joy.
Know what's going on. I look over at the chat and I just see Books and Donny underneath. Get him. What is happening?
Well, moderators, don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
busy.
now I see it. Okay. I'm sorry, chat. I'm busy.
I'm steady dropping frames. Why? Is it because I
Good
have two Discord
gracious.
things open? My
Like
internet just
Deja
cannot handle it?
intruder. Awesome.
All right, so we should be. I should be okay now. Should. I don't
One
know.
hope.
Maybe the world is having internet problems again.
Possibility. I hear thunder going overhead, so there may be some pipeline issues. Although I seem to be going fine.
Yeah. Let me. If the stream deads, it's because I ran a speed test while I'm streaming. We're going to do this and we're going to see what happens. Because if my connection is good, then it's a problem on Twitch's end. No donuts for mods at the monthly meeting. Fair?
Aw.
Ah. So the download speed is solid. And the upload is solid. So yeah, it's definitely something on Twitch's end. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we
pushing
didn't
20
really
megs
think
up.
about that. We're both moderators in your chat. And we're not actually moderating shit right now.
I wonder what is going on. All right, stick around, folks. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to check something out real quick. Okay, sit tight. We'll be right back. Recording now. So, hopefully Twitch gets their shit figured out and this whole situation gets cleared up and fixed in a timely manner. I don't know why Twitch hates me, but for those watching, if you want to catch any of this, I will have it recorded and uploaded to the YouTube by the end of today because I have nothing else going on in my life. Cheers to that shit. Yay.
Okay.
Cheers.
But one thing I did want to bring up on Shancast specifically, we've talked about it throughout the week as more and more news comes out. I wanted to get Donnie's and Books, being a female in the nerd space, opinion on this. Activision Blizzard, and this will probably be the last time I have lengthy discussions about it. are being sued by the state of California for, I had a whole list and it disappeared. Basically, a shitty work environment for women is what it boils down to. As the state of California puts it, a frat boy mentality or a frat house work environment. Certain incidents include what's called a cubicle crawl, where the male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol and just roam around the offices. And during this, regularly harass the female employees, say rude comments and suggestions, things of that nature. There are also incidents on record, not book. I got to be careful with that word today. On record of
You're good. I know what you mean.
female employees doing the exact same job and outperforming their male counterparts, being passed up for promotions and raises, not getting the same bonuses, not getting the same pay. Male employees delegating their work to lower ranked, I guess you could call it, female employees while they just fuck off and go play video games all day instead of doing their job. Incidents like at a company holiday party, nude photos of a female employee were passed around amongst the male employees even after she asked them to stop. They basically said fuck you and did it anyways. One director, manager, basically the guy in charge of a specific department, is on record of having said, the reason you don't get raises and promotions is because I don't like you because you won't give me a blowjob. The fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
Not okay. There was the most recent incident was in 2019. A female employee committed suicide while on a company trip with her supervisor due to sexual harassment and bullying at Activision Blizzard.
The fuck?
Yeah. Activision Blizzard's CEOs and VPs have since released statements saying that this is all blown out of proportion and a lot of it is falsified and digging up the past after we've already corrected it and completely untrue, and we don't support a workplace like this. The most recent statement released was by the VP, Fran
Townsend, I
something.
believe. Townsend or
Townsend, yeah, something of that nature. Fucking hell, Twitch, fix your shit. Yeah, saying things like, I know nothing of a workplace environment like this, and I'm paraphrasing here. This is not the company I know that I work for, that I love. So we'll get to the bottom of this and figure it out. Well, Fran, you've only worked there for 4 months. That's it. And Fran, you're the VP. You're not on the ground level where these things are happening. So of course you wouldn't know about it. Of course you don't see it. You're not even there. And you haven't been there for the last decade. Former employees and some current employees that have chosen to stay anonymous say, oh yeah, no, this happens. This is a thing. HR doesn't give a fuck. They'd rather protect the company than protect the employee. So, thoughts? That's the gist
anyone
of it.
that says that this isn't real and these are just baseless allegations, calling bullshit. Hardcore bullshit. Because it's like, the only reason that they might be unfounded is because majority of the time, women aren't saying anything because no one's going to take them fucking seriously anyway. Like, no one is going to take somebody seriously for saying so and so did this thing because it's their word. They don't want to come forward because it's like, we don't have a fucking leg to stand on half the time.
Right.
Is what it is. Like, and thankfully I have never experienced anything like really bad or anything like that. I mean,
Mhm.
I get fucking catcalled and shit. Like that happens. It's going to happen regardless. But it's like I had a friend of mine when I had first talked about wanting to get into like YouTube or whatever like that, and he made like super great guy. I have no issues with him personally. He has never done anything or anything like that. And he goes, what he's like, because I was like, I don't know if people are going to want to watch what I do or anything like that. And he goes, I hate to ask you this. He goes, what's your bra size? And he's like, you're going to be fine because people are going to watch you because of that kind of a thing. He goes, unfortunately, that's what a lot of it is. He goes, but if you get male
Ah.
viewers, they're going to watch you for your tits, is basically all that it is. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes me feel better about life. like,
It'll be the first
okay,
thing that draws
sure.
them in, and then that's when you catch them with your personality and your skill
So
at
it's
that
just
point.
like I had posted a video a while back on TikTok. I did a TikTok about I got catcalled by somebody and I'm like, why? Because I was wearing a baggy sweatshirt, I had a hat on, my hair was a mess. Like I was like, why the fuck would anybody be catcalling me right now? And somebody else is like, were you wearing leggings? I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's why you're wearing leggings. And then I had said something about like, is it supposed to be a compliment? Because it's really not. I was like, it's creepy as fuck, and it's not a compliment. And some guy posted on it, he goes, yeah, I don't see what the big problem is. You're a creep. like,
Yeah,
why else? Like, don't fucking catcall. Like, there's a difference between catcall and a genuine compliment. And I'm like, very
very big
rarely is it
difference.
actually a genuine compliment. So it's like, I don't know. If I were working in that type of environment, I would probably either be fired or I'd be in jail because I would have like punched someone in the throat. Because it's just like, don't try that shit with me. It's not gonna go over well for you. Like
And
it won't.
and that brings up another question. A lot of folks are saying, well, don't boycott the company and their games because there's a lot of good people that work there. That's going to put them out of a job. Okay, maybe they should think about where they're working then.
About working somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's time for them to find another job. If this is the kind of
Hmm.
environment that they're okay with, go ahead, keep working there. If you're not okay with this, show me. Tell them to get fucked. Go work for someone else. Go work for an indie company that could really use your talents and skills. Donnie's been quiet. I feel like I may have cut
Eh,
him off. I
No, you're
really
just
wish I could figure out this streaming issue.
now you've cut me off. But
Yeah.
no, you learn more when you're quiet. But two things have occurred to me while listening, and I'll go with the second one first. But it's difficult to pick up and leave, especially, a lot of these people they may have families that they're trying to support. They may have a mortgage. They may have limited connections in the industry. They may not have the tenure or the years of experience that they need to take it elsewhere. I mean, there's a lot that goes into a decision like that. I've walked out of places because of moral reasons before, and it was hard. And that was with, I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't have any of these things. And it was still really hard to do. So I'm not going to hate on
Yeah.
anybody who says, hey, my family's got to come first. I need this paycheck. Um,
If
I
that's
think
the case, understandable. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think more broadly, however, and this is kind of the first thing I've heard to me is that this is now ActiBliz, this is Ubisoft, this is Riot. These are these high profile names, these high profile companies who are coming under the same kinds of behavior that is being listed in this lawsuit, not as severe in some cases, but the same uh, quality, if not quantity, if you know what I mean. The same kind of behavior is being exhibited in multiple different companies that have had to deal with it. It's come to light at various cons. It's come to light in the literary community at various publishers. It's come to light at throughout any different industry. You'll find stories like this, and it's getting to the point where it should stop being surprising to people, and it's now coming down to people need to be vigilant. The companies need to have been dealing with this before it comes out. There needs to be policies and procedures in place already, because you know that it is not one company's problem, it's not one industry's problem. This is a problem throughout working culture, throughout probably the world, but certainly at least in America.
Mm.
You know that this is a problem. It's not one woman's experience. It's not, a handful of women's experience. It's a majority, I think, of women in the working world's experience, at least some parts of this. So why are we not being proactive at this point? Because it's no longer a shock, right? Like you hear about
Right.
this coming out of another company, and it's just one more on top of the pile. And every couple of years, it seems to happen. You get one more on top of the pile where this comes out and they're being sued, or there's some major news release. You past a certain point, you can't say, "Well, we didn't know" anymore. You should already being expecting to find this behavior now, and you should have already been doing something.
Right. Exactly. I mean, if this was an isolated incident, like, oh my God, this is happening in the video game corporate space. Oh my goodness, Activision Blizzard, how could you? But at this point, it's turning into, oh, another one. Great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I think the gaming nerd culture community as a whole really needs to put their foot down and say, this is not okay, guys. I'm not going to either fix it and do the right thing, or you can expect to see no more of my dollars. And I'm hoping that that's the direction that everything goes. I really am. I'm sorry for the people that are going to lose their jobs if these companies end up going under. I really am. It's unfortunate. But damn. I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere. If we're trying to create a world where people aren't going to be treated this way, we can't say, well, if this happens, though, fuck. So we'll just let them keep doing it. No, we can't do that. If this were something new, holy shit. It's not new. It's in every aspect. Look at comic books. Oh my God, comic books. For the longest time, it was aggro, toxic masculinity, straight white male is the hero of every fucking thing in the world. God forbid anyone other than Superwoman be a superhero or Wonder Woman or anything. And now we're kind of getting into that realm where it's being accepted that any hero can be of any race, color, ethnicity, religion, background. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Took a while to get there. We need to get there with gaming. The gaming world needs to catch up. We can't let these kinds of things happen. It's not okay.
That almost like super benign version of all of this, but it actually made me think of an instance of that my sister dealt with in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Is both of us took, she was 3 years ahead of me in school, but both of us took graphics at school because neither one of us wanted to do home ec. So we're just like, home ec, give me graphics and intro to technology. I like that kind of stuff better.
Right.
And when my sister was going through it, SolidWorks 3D had just come out. Like that whole programming had just come out. So Courtney is really smart when it comes to figuring that kind of stuff out. And so half the time she was in essence teaching the class because she could figure it out before our teacher could and whatnot. But because it's graphics and not home economics, she was the only girl in her class. Same with me. Like intro to tech, there was two of us, and then when it got to graphics 1, 2, and 3, it was just me. Like there were no other girls in this class because nobody took it. But Courtney had a specific instance where some of the guys were gathered around one of the computers trying to figure out how to do this thing. And they're sitting here like doing all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And Courtney looks at it. She goes, "You do this, 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 and this, and it'll work." And then immediately all of them were like, "Oh, yeah, we knew that. We knew how to do that. Blah, 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 blah." And we're like, "No, you fucking didn't. You like, no,
But
you
because
didn't.
she was saying it.
Because she's the one who came up with it and told you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You then decided that you were still superior and you knew what you were doing when clearly you did not."
Yep.
Well, and it's,
It
we
was
should be past the point as a society of believing that women can't be capable in the workplace. I mean, and I know Bill can back me up on both examples that in automotive repair and in shooting sports,
Oh
women
my
actually
God.
excel. They're
Mm-hmm.
usually better than their male counterparts. Why? Because probably a variety of reasons, not least of which feeling like they have more to prove, but they're
Mm-hmm.
actually better. They're better employees, better workers, better shooters, better competitors.
Better temperament
So,
with a lot of things.
in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
but
oh my word. That was so funny. I had a PE instance like that. So fucking funny. My high school was co-ed for PE. And we were playing. You guys heard of the game called Saturn Ball? It's really
Why does it
weird.
sound
And
like it's from the Jetsons?
it's kind of obscure. Basically, the ball is this rubber ball with a ring around it, so it bounces real weird. Like it's just solid rubber, but it
Okay.
bounces
I've
really,
seen
really
those.
awkwardly. And it's basically kind of set up like almost like soccer. Like you have like three forwards, two defense, and one goalie. The goals are like small and triangular, but
Okay.
you can either throw it into the goal for a point, you can kick it into the goal for two, or if you were to drop kick it and get it through like the uprights of the when the basketball hoops are up, then you'd get
Uh-huh.
5 points. That's how the whole thing was going.
Okay.
Well, we have a co-ed thing, so he'd split us all into teams and we'd be playing. And every single one of us girls in the class were getting hurt, like physically hurt. We'd show up to school the next day with bruises from getting pegged with this thing because the
Uh-huh.
guys were pitching it super, super hard. Where we had somebody, one of the guys pushed another guy and he tripped over a girl, knocked them both to the ground like really hard. Like none of us were having fun because we're like, we don't want to get hurt because all these guys are being exceedingly aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept asking our teacher to split it. We're like, please let the girls play with the girls, let the guys play with the guys. And finally, he did it. He started calling off teams, and we're all just looked at each other. We're like, dude, we're separate. We had so much fucking fun because we were like actually trying now. And yeah, we were still getting like hit and like bruised, but it wasn't like maliciously intended.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of the court, a fist fight almost broke out because some of the guys got in everybody's faces. And I was
Naturally.
the oldest in the class. I was the only senior in my class. So it's like I was the one who had constantly been like petitioning to get the class separated. And so my teacher walked across the gym to go split these three guys up because it was three of them that were all like posturing at each other. We're like, what the fuck? So he sent them to three different places. He walked past me and I just kind of gave him this look like, point in case.
Mm.
He's just kind of goes,
Point
yeah, I
proven.
know, and like walked off. I'm
I
like,
mean,
I told you. It's like, and we were all actually trying now. It's like we had so much more fun because we weren't afraid of getting hurt. So it's just like,
In that instance,
yeah,
I
we
can understand the the need to split because I mean we've got hormonal teenagers. A teenage boy is in a very different level of temperament than a teenage woman. It's very weird. I didn't understand it until I got a little bit older and I looked back at that kind of stuff. You got your teenage boys are in that genetic evolutionary state of grr. My hormones are going through the fucking roof. I'm changing. I gotta prove that I'm a man and I'm tough and and yes, there are also complete opposites of that where they're like, I don't need to do that. And that's a different type of thing. But the majority of your teenage boys are very short-tempered, aggressive, and prone to anger very easily. Whereas the majority of your teenage women are learning, oh shit, my body does different stuff now. I feel differently on a regular basis. I'm not a woman. I don't know what you guys went through. I just know what I saw looking at it from the outside going, okay, dudes are assholes. Women seem to have it figured out now. Okay, good to know. And then when you
I
get
think-
into go, but don't,
I was gonna,
you're going to say some
I
shit about me, aren't you?
well, yeah, it occurred to me, but I was trying to keep it bottled up. But no, I was going to say that I think everybody at that age is a tiny little hormone disaster.
Yes.
It just tends to reflect in different ways outwardly. And yeah, to an extent, I think you're correct. But you know, it's
it tends to,
there's some variability there.
but then it also gets reflected as, because it becomes part of learned behavior at that young age, and then we start to see it in the professional adult world.
Yeah, well, and
Especially
that's-
where Donnie was going with the automotive thing.
Mhm.
The dudes,
Well, everybody
They're-
thinks that you
Mhm.
only require knowledge of exactly one tool to be a auto mechanic, and you came
Mhm.
pre-equipped with it at birth.
yeah, that tends to be the popular theory.
Yeah, you're born with the only important tool. But that's what I was going to say, is that a lot of that outward thing is not so much biological as it is, I think, societal. Because at least many of the women I knew growing up were probably just as ready to punch somebody in the face. But there is a whole different societal expectation there for women than there is for men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I haul off and punch somebody in the face, it's boys will be boys. If
And
if
instead
books were to
of,
haul off and
oh my
punch somebody in the
God,
face, then it's a crazy bitch, and she's irrational and she's hysterical, and it
Mhm.
was probably exactly the same emotional outburst that it was for me,
right.
but it would be treated entirely differently. And that's something that you internalize for your whole life growing up, from the time you're put into a princess dress at 3 years old all the way up until you're 15, 16, 17 in a hormone disaster.
Correct.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites is people telling me to act like a lady. Like, fuck you. Like, no. Like,
Why? Why should I
exactly.
act like a lady?
Or
in any
people
how
telling
about
me,
act like a
I've had
human?
people, yeah, I've had people tell me, they're like, well, smile. Why? Because it makes you look prettier. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
here to smile for you.
no, I'm
I
not.
don't feel
Yeah,
like
I'm not
smiling
here to
right now.
smile for you. It's like
Yeah.
smiling hurts after a while. I'm not gonna do it right now. Like, leave me alone. Like,
It does. It hurts
it's
like right in here. And
yeah,
it makes it hard for
it's
me to chew my snacks later.
it's very much that whole mentality. Is like, we as women are expected to act a certain way, but if we act anything, there was oh, where is that book?
How
I'm
did I
reading a book
know
right
books would
now
have a book?
because I used it specifically for my class because we're doing gender and text. Where did I put it? It's called
Twilight?
he's a stud, she's a slut, and 49 other double standards every woman should know, by Jessica Valenti. So good. I do not know where it is right now. It's in one of these stacks.
Mm.
But one of the things it talks about is that it's okay for women to be considered tomboys, because it's like, it's okay for women to want to act like men.
Mhm.
But as soon as, like, she cites, she goes, but as soon as I saw, like, one of my young male cousins, as soon as he caught me, or I'm saying that backwards, as soon as she had caught him playing with dolls, he threw them away like he was super embarrassed, because no one wants to be a girl. Like, no one wants to be a
Okay.
girl. To
I
be
see where she's
considered a
going with that.
girl, yeah, to be considered a girl is like the worst thing. So
Well,
it's
it's
like, it's okay
the
for
societal
women want to be
standard
men. Yeah,
of
it is, and it's
men should be
stupid as
masculine, men
fuck.
should be constantly getting into fights and
Yeah,
short-tempered, and it's that perception of it, whereas there's not that perception with a woman, and society has kind of come to a point where when we see the more masculine side or a woman wanting to be tomboyish, whatever the case, we cheer her on for that now. And
Yeah.
I think we're slowly getting to the point where we can look at a man, and if he wants to enjoy traditionally more feminine things, we cheer him on for that. We're slowly getting there. It's not there just yet. We've got a long ways to go before that happens. It could happen tomorrow, but then what is it? 7 billion plus people would have to be on board with it. And good luck with that. There's a lot of religion buried inside that societal structure. But going back to in the workplace with all of this, and the common misconception of male dominated fields versus a female in that field. I was going somewhere with this, and now I just brain farted on it. Oh, we have this idea that in specific careers, men should do better at that than women. When in reality, it doesn't matter male or female. If you're good at the job, you're good at the job. That plain and simple. I have had numerous female supervisors and co-workers and employees even that were better than me at the job that they were there to do. And I looked up to a lot of them. I'm going to call one of them out by name. Donny, you know her, Leslie. Service writer at Toyota. Have been doing it for over 20 years. Great customer base. Knew her shit inside and out. Could sell work like no other. Could make people feel comfortable and help them understand what was happening with their work. And was one of the top performers and best service writers I've ever seen in the automotive world. Virtually unheard of. I honestly looked up to her. I watched her numbers like a freaking hawk. Like, how did she sell this? How? Just how? And I'd go ask her, Leslie, how did you do this? She goes, well, I just explained it to him. I'm like, yeah, but how? I want to learn. I need to know your ways. I've had technicians that I've worked alongside and that have worked under me that were female, and they were fucking great. I went through college. I was one of the first automotive technology degree classes at Yavapai Community College here in Arizona, down in Prescott. And in my class, it was actually the first one of the official program for the automotive degree. And in my class, there were 3 women. One was in her late 40s, early 50s, wanted to get an automotive business management degree to help her husband out with the shop. And to do that, she had to know about vehicles and go know about cars. So she took this course, and that's what she was there for. One of them was fresh out of high school, just like me, and she was determined to be a mechanic because her family said she couldn't because she was a woman. So she said, fuck you, I'm going to do this. And then the other one just grew up. Her dad restored classic vehicles her whole life. She helped him, and she just wanted to get a degree to go back behind it. The older lady, now retired. Last time I checked up on her, now retired with her husband. They sold the business. They're good to go. But she helped them run it after getting the degree. She was one of 2 women to graduate with that degree. The girl fresh out of high school got the degree. The first 2 women to graduate with the automotive business degree from Yavapai College, and then ended up becoming my wife. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother podcast, and how that ended in a burning fireball of disaster. And then the third one, she now runs a shop, I want to say somewhere out in Indiana, where she restores classic muscle cars. Like, that's her thing. She tunes them up, gets them running, cleans them up, restores them, and gives them back to the owners. That's her job now. the idea that a woman can't do something or is more suited for doing a specific task than a higher level task is ridiculous. And I feel like that's what a lot of we're seeing in this Activision Blizzard thing is based on. Like, no. I'm going to go play video games. I need you to organize these reports and do the little typey on the computer. Get the fuck out of here. Go do that. I'm going to go do this. And that's part of the whole worldwide culture that needs to change. I feel like we've beaten this topic to death a little bit today. I do want to talk about something a little different if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, go for it.
Whatever.
So, the Olympics. That game was fun, but I scrolled across this in the news as I was looking for topics for today. The U.S. has won 3 gold medals for the first time in the history of the Olympics at the Tokyo Olympics. And one of them is rifle shooting. I'm going to have to find it again. Where did it go? Of course, it closed it out because I clicked away from it.
Mm.
It was rifle shooting. Donnie, or I can hear Donnie over here typing away, or is that books?
It's probably me. I have a very loud keyboard.
U.S.
No, I don't want Wikipedia. I mean, actual website.
I'm going to find it eventually, but it was rifle shooting, fencing, and taekwondo.
Oh, fun.
First time the U.S. has ever won a gold medal in those 3 competitions. And that's fucking awesome, in my opinion. I could not be happier about that. Like, that's fucking sick.
I am not generally a sports person, but it's always good to see our boys performing well at the Olympics.
Right. I've seen a lot of people saying things like, well, normally I'd root for the U.S. at the Olympics, but all these liberal snowflakes that are going, I hope the other teams kick their lily ass, blah, blah, blah. Well, now hold on now. Just because they want fair treatment and to be able to express themselves in the sport that they're passionate about, you're going to root against them? That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're out there representing us on a world stage. I hope they win. I hope we kick everyone's ass. And I just looked at the medal count. It does not look like we are on our way to be doing that.
I mean, we're in 3rd.
Yeah. It's what, week 1?
Yeah, week 1.
Yeah, week 1.
Week 1. Let's give it some time and see how it all plays out. It looks like we're doing fairly decent. China was 6, Japan with 5, us with 4. Total medals overall is tie, or not a tie, but 11 with China, 10 with us, and then total medals behind that is the ROC.
What is ROC?
Republic of China?
Oh no, Russian Olympic Committee athletes.
No.
Oh.
That's Russia.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's weird.
It's the People's Republic of China, that would be.
I gotta figure out where to watch this because I do want to watch them. I love watching the Olympics and it's so much fun.
Well, this is
I think one of my-
interesting. So they're the ROC. Let's see. Russia was expected to compete at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Now postponed. Yada yada yada. Would have been the country's 7th consecutive appearance at the Summer Olympics as an independent nation, but their athletes will now be entered by and represent the Russian Olympic Committee and use the acronym ROC as a country name. This is the outcome of a decision by the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, banning Russia from all on a 9 December 2019 decision banning Russia from all international sport for 4 years after it was found that data provided by the Russia Anti-Doping Agency had been manipulated by Russian authorities with a goal of protecting athletes involved in its state-sponsored doping schemes. So, because Russia got caught boosting their athletes, they said, no, you're not allowed to compete in anything anymore. Fuck you guys. So the athletes got together, or a committee was formed to not compete as Russia, but as the Russian Olympic Committee.
Interesting.
I find that to be an interesting workaround as well. It's still Russia, though. I don't,
What's the technical difference here, guys?
could they just call it Eastern or Western Asia Athletic Committee or something? I mean, you still got the name Russia in there. That makes no difference. It's still the same shit. All right. Whatever, guys. Cool. So that's the ROC. They're here to rock. And of course, I hope all athletes do well. I really do.
Yes.
I wish no ill will towards any of them. They're all young folks out to just do their best in their respective sports.
Sports well, young sportsers.
Yes.
You want really fun, or something that I found was really fun?
Yes.
I love watching volleyball. And I've gotten more into indoor volleyball than like beach volleyball, even though I think both are fun. But indoor volleyball has a lot more like opportunities for shit to happen.
Oh, it's
like things to go
insane.
down. It's insane. Okay, so apparently somebody posted a TikTok of, I think it was actually Japan playing, but they had a song going in the background. It was the freaking song from the anime Haikyuu, and I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" I was like, I got so excited because I was like, "I know that."
The opening music for the opening ceremony, as all the teams walked out, were video game themes.
It's so great.
All video game themes.
I love
that's
that
like
shit.
the whole theme for this entire one, and it makes the nerd in me so fucking happy. I think I want to say Japan walked out like to the Zelda, Princess Zelda's theme song or something like that. And there's stuff from Final Fantasy. There's Sonic the Hedgehog is in there. All kinds of shit. Like, yes, this is what we expected from Japan. If Japan did not do this, we would all be disappointed.
The fact that they created an entire game for Google Doodle, like they're like, hey, we're gonna do this thing. Yes.
And it's a good game.
I still haven't found that third fucking piece of driftwood though. I don't know where it is.
Neither have I. I think it's
I don't know where it is.
prank. Like, what the shit? It says it can only be found at low tide, or normally it can be found at low tide. I haven't noticed a tide of any type in this game. Where is this tide?
You know what? It would not surprise me. I'm curious if it actually coincides with tides in Japan. I'm gonna figure something out here a minute. Stand by.
You know what? I think you might be onto something there.
Genuinely curious.
I think you actually might be onto something. I saw a video of a tour of the Olympic Village where all the athletes are staying, and they all have their own like apartment complexes, and they all stay on the same floors in those apartment complexes with each other, and they have free shuttles to and from the competition arenas, 24/7, whatever you want cafeteria. Like, you need food? Cool. It's 2 a.m. No problem. Come down. We got you. Let's make some food for you. Security in and out, like deep security. Autonomous vehicles to transport people around the Olympic Village in Japan. So driverless little fucking shuttles just running around all over the place. You just hop on, you get over here, no problem. Vending machines that are free to the Olympic athletes. You get a little badge that has an RFID chip in it, and you just kind of put it up against the machine and push the button of what you want, and pops out. Good to go. And this is Japan we're talking about. So these vending machines have soda, water, tea, coffee, hot and cold, snacks, random shit. I'm sure. Like, I'm sure there are vending machines there that I just didn't see in the video that have underwear, socks, shoes. It's what they do. And part of me wants to go, well, what are they going to do with this place like after the Olympics are over? Can I vacation to the Olympic Village in Japan in the summer? I would be beyond excited for that. Just to go and be like, this is so cool. Look at that shit over there. Look at this shit over here. That's Japan's building. That's America's building. Why is ours not as big? What the fuck? I thought that was cool.
I can't figure out how to translate the time. Because it has the
for the
tide
tides?
schedules, yes. It says the next tide in Tokyo will be low tide on Monday 26th at 0:29. So like just after midnight, I'm assuming. is what that means.
0029?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It says
yeah.
00:29, so I'm assuming it means
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's about
12:30.
12:30 in the
basically.
morning. So whatever 12:30 in the morning Japan is here.
It's 7:00 a.m. in Japan right now.
And I'm at 3 p.m. here. So figure, what is that? 3, 7, 10-hour difference? Am I doing that math right? No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
Am I?
It's
Yes.
5:00
It's an
where
8-hour
I am.
difference, but
8. So I wasn't doing that math right.
You did well for you, Bill.
So it'd be 8:30 in the
10-hour
morning
difference.
here. What?
For me. It's a 10-hour difference for me.
Correct. That's where my mind was going. Ah,
Yeah, it's 10 hours for me in Central.
okay. So 10:30 in the morning is the next low tide. Hop on Google. And if you find that driftwood, all right, I will hop on Google at 8:30 in the morning because I need to do one last little walkthrough on my apartment before they come and do their inspection. And I will check and see if the low tide is effective. Which it wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, it totally would surprise me.
I have the Google Doodle thing popped out, and I'm gonna stand my little cat character next to the person who's standing right at the water's edge.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna move him, and I'm gonna see if he shifts positions at all. Like, I'm just gonna leave him there.
There's got to be some trick to that we're missing somewhere. It's got to
There
be.
has to be, because there's no other fucking driftwood on that entire damn beach.
There isn't. There's no driftwood anywhere else on the entire game. I looked.
I even tried finding a walkthrough, like somebody who recorded them doing all of the side quests, and I was like, I haven't found that third piece of driftwood yet. So
One day someone will find it. I'll probably try and do it on a stream if I can get this working. I don't know what's going on. It's being weird. Hopefully I can just do a simple reset on my router maybe. And that'll trick Twitch or whatever's happening here. But yeah, I am out of topics. Anyone else got anything?
I think that's 1 hour, which is good for me.
That works for me as well. Books? Got anything to add? Anything extra?
I'm just staring at my stack of books, but I don't think we need to keep talking about those. I kid you not, I have literally a stack
Dear God.
of fodder for potential paper.
Do
to
it
be
to
like,
it.
that's not how women should act. This is once like subverting, be like, oh, they're twins, and her brother's expected to go be either a wizard or a knight, and she's like, I don't want to be a fucking lady. I'm gonna pretend I'm a boy and go be a knight.
Mulan.
This one's a piece of shit. I hate that book. This one's not too bad. Woman in Black. That one I actually finished reading. That one, I think the main female character, who's a ghost, embodies the two emotions that women are allowed to have, which is extreme sadness or volatile anger. So there's that.
Could be argued
Fucking
she's
what
a
not
ghost.
to do. Again, pretending to be a boy
Mm-hmm.
instead of a girl to get ahead in life. Turns out she needs spoilers for anything. She needs to embrace her femininity in order for any of it to actually work. Super good book. It's a duology. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Um, this one matched. First of a trilogy. Also being like, hey, this is who you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life.
No, I don't
And
want to
if
be
you
with
don't
that
follow
person.
the things or whatever, they're whatever. This
Okay.
one is so fucking good.
Paper and
So
fire.
good. Basically kind of almost feudal Japan-ish, not quite.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact era that it takes place in, but uh the emperor picks 12 women every year to basically be his own harem, and they're all like super gorgeous, and they're paper girls is what they're called. So it's
Okay.
like they get like higher status, but the main character becomes a 13th because of her unusual eye color, so he picks her as well. Um and it's supposed to be this super high privilege and all that shit, and she's like, I don't want to be raped for, this entire year that I have to live here. And she ends up
Okay.
falling in love with one of the other paper girls. Um, so it's a
Ah.
whole thing like
Okay.
that. So good.
What
Highly,
was
highly, highly recommend
what
that
was
book.
the name of
Very
that book again? One more time.
good.
What do we got there?
Girls of Paper
Paper
and Fire
and fire. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
by
No reason. No reason.
Natasha Nagan, I think is how you pronounce her name.
Of
Honestly, though,
paper
beautifully
and
written.
fire.
Gorgeous book. Highly, highly recommend it.
Oh, it's a series.
Um, I have not found the other ones yet. It sets it up definitely to be one. I didn't realize that she actually wrote another one to go along with it,
I
but
don't know if
I will see.
she's released it yet. Now that I'm looking at it.
It might not be. It's set up to continue, which if and when it does, I really, really want to read it because it leaves it as a very like it doesn't leave you at like a cliffhanger, but it leaves you wanting to read more of this world. And she writes very, very well.
According to
Oh.
the Barnes and Noble website, Girls of Paper and Fire is book 1 in the Girls of Paper and Fire series. No news on a release date for the second book, but it is definitely set up to be part of a series.
Interesting.
Oh, no, here we go. Girls of Storm and Shadow and Girls of Fate and Fury.
Ooh.
Let's see, Storms and Shadow is available now. Came out in 2020. And Fate and Fury is also available now. Came out this oh wait, no. We're in 2021. It's scheduled to come out in November of 2021. Is part 3.
Cool beans.
So there you go, books.
Thrift
I
Books
just
has the second one for like $6.
Nice.
boom. You're welcome.
Adding to cart.
Oh no. What have you done, Bill?
I have done everything I am expected to do, which isn't a whole
I'm
lot,
super
but
excited for
yeah.
that. It's such a good book. Highly recommend it.
Well, there we
So
go.
good.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with me today, folks. Thank you to everybody who stuck it out and is watching this on YouTube now because internet. It's 2021. You'd think we'd have this shit figured out by now, but apparently not.
It's also 2021.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, it's also 2021. We're still dealing with shit that should have been solved decades ago. But good night, everybody. Thank you, and we will catch you all next time.
Bye.